How you doing? This is Sam Tolley with In Him First. We view the world through the lens of Jesus Christ. We don't view Jesus Christ through the lens of the world. I want to talk a little bit more about this border crossing problem we have with these children and their parents, and how many people try to make it the responsibility of the American people. When I say people, politicians, Hollywood elite, athletes, all these so-called compassionate folks. And let me say this up front. The United States of America is the most compassionate nation in the world. The American people are more compassionate than anyone in the entire world. And sometimes it just really chaps my hide when I hear people say, oh, that's not Christian-like. Let's examine the evidence. Like I said, the American people are the most compassionate people in the world. But unfortunately, the American people are also very naive. We're very naive and ignorant of the way government functions and the way government wastes money and abuse money as well. And maybe that's because of the fact that this is such a God-blessed nation, and that just like right now we're making a lot of money because the economy is booming, that when we make a lot of money we don't tend to pay attention to it. Unfortunately, during the last administration, a lot of folks didn't pay attention to money that was being spent that we didn't have. But that's another story. I want to talk about this situation. But first I want to give you a point of advice, hopefully. And that is this. Train yourself to not only listen to what is stated, but to also hear what's missing. This is very important. This is very important. We're quick to hear what people say, and like I said, our politicians and a lot of these entertainers, these actors and whatnot, they always try to pull on the emotional heartstrings of compassionate people, which we are. But many times they're pulling on these heartstrings to their advantage. They don't want us to analyze stuff. They don't want us to step back and see what the heck the big picture is showing. And that's a lot of times where we make our mistake. So, all of a sudden, we got this big, humongous push to deal with border crossing, these children, and Trump's a Nazi and whatnot. Let me show you the stats for 2016. In 2016, 20,455 unaccompanied children crossed the border. Now that's telling me at the very minimum there was 20,455 bad parents out there. More than likely it was double that amount, because obviously we both have male and females to produce us. All those children crossing the border in 2016. And they were put in detention camps, and they were put in these different places. And do you know what the cost is? They estimate that the cost per child is $35,000 a year. So if you got the 20,455 times 35,000, we're talking $715,925,000 that the American people had to pay to take care of those children that crossed the border in 2016 during Barack Obama's administration. Where was the media? Where was the Hollywood elite? Where was all these athletes, all these people of prominence that are so up in arms right now? I don't recall anyone calling Barack Obama a Nazi. I don't recall anybody calling him Satan or Hitler, any of this stuff. I don't even recall them even hardly talking about this stuff. But, like I said, when I was saying to pay attention, what's missing is that the report came out regarding the FBI. And that report showed that the FBI is corrupt. Probably the FBI, the CIA, and whoever else is out there was corrupt. That these folks did not treat Hillary with the same, shall we say, legal mind they would have treated us with. We'd have been locked up. They gave her a pass, and then they tried to stick it on Trump. You know, the Russian thing and all that mess. I don't want to get into that. I don't want to get sidetracked, but this is what I'm saying. Pay attention to what isn't said. So all this stuff appears to be a diversion. So we don't pay attention to the fact that the Russian mess was a bunch of crap from day one, that Hillary, Obama, and the whole organization has been corrupted. So it's convenient to start talking about the children instead of talking about what the heck's going on in Washington. So let's talk about the children. Let's talk about this picture with President Trump and this little girl that's on Time magazine. If you haven't seen it, here it is. Maybe you don't know it, but that's all obviously fake. They were talking about how this girl was taken away from her mother. And she was, you know, they were going to use this as the symbol of how evil this administration is treating people. Number one, that is total fake news. The girl was not taken away from her mother. As a matter of fact, I understand it, that her mother paid some coyote to bring her and her child to California, to the United States. And this isn't the first time. She was deported already before. And even now, she wasn't separated from her kid. So this is bogus. This whole thing is bogus. It makes you wonder what's going on with the media. The media actually, I believe, is the propaganda arm of the Democratic Party. Because they're not standing up for us. The media is supposed to be the unbiased referee, as it were. They're supposed to see what's happening and just report the facts, but they're not doing it. So that was a bogus situation. But let's dig deeper. This girl and her mother came from Honduras. Let's look at the facts. Let's see. Oh, let me show you something else first. I want to show you a logo. USAID. This logo represents the United States, the department that passes out money to other countries to help these other countries. So since this little girl came from Honduras, I want to focus on Honduras first. Look at this. In 2016, we gave Honduras $127,506,634. That's how much we gave that little bitty country. And then, so far, we know that in 2017, we gave them $156 million. The reason why I say so far is the accounting for 2017 isn't done. We don't have all the numbers from the various sections that gave out money. American money, your money, my money, taxpayer money. So why are we giving this country all of this money and all their folks is coming to America? Maybe, just maybe, if we told their government, look, we ain't going to give you another dime until you stop people from coming over here. We're not going to pay you on both ends. We're going to take care of your people, pay them on our end, and then give you money too. This is why I say the American people are naive. That we don't know what the heck is going on. These jokers in Washington, they don't care. Because even the money they spend on themselves is our money because we pay them. Even when they pay their own taxes, that's money that we paid them because they don't have a job other than run their mouth and tell us how much they're going to take care of us when they don't. But that was just Honduras. Right now, our border crossing problem consists of 5 major countries. Let's look at this map. Let's look at this map of the countries in question. So you got Mexico, which is a long nation, and the rest of these countries have to go all the way through Mexico. Look, we have Guatemala and Honduras right next to it. These people have to cross all the way through Mexico to get to our border, and then we're supposed to feel upset? We're supposed to be the ones, we're supposed to take responsibility for these people? Let's go further down there. We got Guatemala, we got Honduras, and we have Mexico, that's another one, and we have Ecuador and El Salvador. There's El Salvador over there next to Guatemala. These are the 5 major countries that we have to deal with as far as illegal aliens right now. Not the only ones, they have the most. And look what Ecuador is all the way down in South America. Look how far these people have to go to get to the United States. And then we got these politicians sitting over here whining, talking about we have people in concentration camps. Politicians that we elected. I can't think of anyone that has elected a politician or went to the ballot box thinking, well, let me see, I want to vote for Nancy Pelosi so she can look after the folks that live in El Salvador. Or I want to vote for Maxine Waters because I know she's going to look after these folks who came from Ecuador. People don't think like that. We vote for folks to look after us. Let's look at the cost of these 5 nations for 2017. And when I say the cost, I mean as we know it right now. Because all the numbers haven't came in. Ecuador, $8,200,000. Like I said, Ecuador is all the way down in South America. Mexico, this is 2017 numbers, $63 million thus far for 2017 that we're aware of. El Salvador, this little bitty country down there, $108 million for 2017. And Honduras, like I said, $156 million. But wait a minute, we got Guatemala. Guatemala so far, $203 million. We have a total of $538,200,000. You know, if we told these people that we will keep this money unless you keep your folks at home, we could probably save a couple of $200 million based on the other figures I stated. This is ridiculous. But the Democrats and the politicians and all these liberals, elites, these folks with all these rich folks, they want us to feel bad. They want to talk about people that want to look after Americans. And I bet you most Americans have no idea. We're paying from both ends. This is crazy. And it's time for it to stop. And the only way it's going to stop is for the American people to get smart. For the American people to demand it stop. And to stop electing these folks that don't care anything about us. So I'm going to leave you with one more piece of advice. Always be wary of rich people and politicians putting your money where their mouth is. This is Sam Tolley, and I'm out.